This impeachment, where do you want to start?
Let's start with facts and go through the whole hour just on facts.
Okay, go ahead.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my head's going to blow off listening to these morons on cable television. And
I have never seen anything more dishonest. This is, and I say this every time they do something, it is worse and worse every time.
And this is where we start. So this impeachment drive is now being sponsored, that's a good word, by the media. The media is doing this, not Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party. The media is driving the impeachment, and Nancy Pelosi and her merry people are hitchhiking a ride on the drive. Would you dispute that?
Yes, I would. I wouldn't have 2 days ago, but after listening to the whistleblower, I think this is so far above Nancy Pelosi's head. This is going to tear down the entire Obama DNC infrastructure that they thought they had all buttoned up in Ukraine. And I think they have no choice.
Yeah, but you're ahead of yourself. You're ahead of yourself now. Just the story, the Ukraine-Trump story, and the impeachment hysteria that has come out of it is driven by the media. Would you cede that?
Yeah. I mean, the media wants to take him down at any cost, but they sense that there's something bigger here because of what they're hearing from the DNC. And the DNC is not telling the truth, obviously.
Well, let's just keep it as simple as possible because you're a brilliant man, but I'm a simple man.
Okay. All right, simple man.
I'm a simple guy.
Sure.
I just want to be really clear so everybody listening can say, that was a worthwhile hour with O'Reilly and Beck.
Okay.
So the media is driving the impeachment sentiment. Mm-hmm. And if you don't believe me, look at all the front pages of the liberal newspapers, which is 90% of them. Mm-hmm. So you see words like scandal. Mm-hmm. You see words like cover up. You see words like mob behavior, organized crime. All of that is what is being written today, September 27, 2019. The broadcast media picks up the phraseology, scandal, cover-up, mob behavior, that kind of thing, drives it on television. Mm-hmm. Now, Pelosi and the Democrats say, hey, this is good because even though we don't have anything that rises to the level of impeachment, it doesn't matter because the media is saying we do. Are you with me so far?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So for the American citizen who's fair-minded, not pro-Trump or anti-Trump, but just wants the best for his or her country, the first question you have to ask is, what is the violation? What is it that would amount to an impeachment inquiry?
And mob
tactics.
Can
you tell me what the violation is, Beck?
No, can't.
What?
Can't.
Because there is no violation.
Exactly right.
There's no violation. It's not like Clinton lied or Andrew Johnson is so drunk he can't do his job. It's not like that. It's like there's no violation because a sitting president is allowed under our Constitution to call any foreign leader and say to that foreign leader, there's a situation involving a former vice president that we feel might lead to corruption. Can you please check that out for us? That's allowed, Beck.
Of course it is. It is in the national
high crime or misdemeanor.
Look, you could say that Donald Trump was doing this to hurt Joe Biden, but the fact is this is bigger than Joe Biden, and even if it did help Donald Trump, it is in our national interest to the extreme to find out what was going on.
Right. And a president has the right to ask the assistance of a foreign leader to get information. So that's number one. Okay, that's number one. He didn't do anything wrong in the call. There's no, if you don't give me this, we're going to deny funds like Biden did, and Biden admits to doing it. All right, none of that. The second thing is election integrity. Okay, that's a subjective thing. It's not a fact, but I will cede that Donald Trump wanted to get dirt on Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. I will admit that all day long, mm-hmm. and the reason I admit it is because I wrote it in the United States of Trump. If you read the book, you'll see the genesis of this whole thing, that Trump is so furious because he believes that Barack Obama,
Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden,
and now Joe Biden, mm-hmm. hurt him personally in the campaign and then after he won.
And that
he believes that firmly.
Correct.
And he wants payback.
And because we did our homework starting a year ago and did 2 episodes on this 6 months ago, we know that that is true. We know that that is true.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about Biden.
Oh, yes.
I don't know about Biden.
Well, we'll listen to next hour. We have John. We have John Solomon on with us next. He just got some additional documents from Ukraine yesterday, and the case is moving forward, and it is damning on Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Okay. All right, I'll cede that.
Okay.
But on the record, in the United States of Trump, right there, so you can see it, is Barack Obama, as President of the United States, was informed by the CIA in August 2016 that Russia was trying to intrude on the election. And Barack Obama chose not to say anything, not to give either campaign a heads up. That's on the record. That happened. That's a fact. Trump is furious about that. Because in his mind, any other president would have said, hey, be careful, the Russians are trying to intrude. But Obama didn't do it. Secondly, Donald Trump believes, and this is a fact as well, that Hillary Clinton's campaign and the Democratic National Committee paid money to foreign nationals to get the dossier, mm-hmm. the smear dossier that mm-hmm. turned out to be false. Mm-hmm. Both the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee paid money to foreign nationals through Fusion GPS.
I think
Russians were paid.
Right, and I think you will find that they also did it in Ukraine. They used Ukraine as the middleman to get to the real dirty people in Russia. You will find that to be true soon.
Okay, but this is
I know.
Hour, Beck.
I know.
All right,
I'm stating facts, but
all right, it's a fact-based hour.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So every word that I've said up until now is true fact.
Yeah, verifiable.
So now you have the American people going, what the deuce is happening when our Congress can be diverted into trying to destroy a sitting president based on what? Nothing. There's no crime. And let's get into the cover-up. The cover-up. Every president since George Washington, when they have a sensitive conversation, not only with a foreign leader, but anyone in government here, puts the sensitive conversation in a more secure place. Every single one of them.
Yes, but
they don't put it
there was nothing.
To the New York Times.
There was nothing sensitive in this except for him saying, "I want to ask you for a favor." ... I need you to get some dirt on Joe Biden and his son. That's what they're claiming. Okay. That there was nothing sensitive in this except for him.
What was said?
I know.
Look, the cover-up thing drives me nuts because you as a president cannot put out to the public that you talked to the president of Ukraine or Australia or anyone. And here's what I said. If you do that, no one will talk to you. So, of course, you're going to put it in a more secure place. It's not a cover-up. This is standard procedure. Yet on the front page of the newspapers, whistleblower says cover-up. I mean, it's just You always say Twilight Zone. I always say this, but now I'm teed off, Beck. Now I'm mad, and it's not because I'm sticking up for Donald Trump. If you read the United States of Trump, the man makes a lot of mistakes, and he makes them because he has a lack of discipline when he's attacked, and he does things he shouldn't do.
I honestly
put yourself in his shoes.
I honestly entered the week.
He didn't do anything wrong.
I know. I entered the week when I heard about the whistleblower, thinking, okay, let's keep an open mind. You know, he could have done that. We also, when they said, well, we're going to release the transcripts, I came in that morning going, well, you know, he makes a lot of stupid mistakes and just kind of, you know, just blurts things out. Maybe. But I am absolutely convinced now that, and I'm going to do a special on this next week, he did nothing wrong. In fact, I fully support what the president was trying to get at. If I understand this story right, and I believe I do, I fully support him in this and the way he handled it. I would have handled it exactly the same way. I couldn't give the president more support at this point.
I would not have handled it the same way he did. I would never have trusted a foreign leader in Ukraine.
It wasn't the foreign leader that blew this. It wasn't the foreign leader that blew this. That foreign leader.
Why I wouldn't have done it.
That foreign leader was the guy who agreed with the president. In fact, brought Giuliani up first. He was the guy who said, "I know, and I'm on this, and I've got the people." The one that ratted him out, the one that broke this confidence, is the deep state intel that was spreading rumors.
You're going to see in the next few days who that person is. That's definitely going to come out.
Well, wait. Since we're on a fact-based hour, who is he?
Yeah.
Well,
do you really want me to say who he is?
I do. I'm going to give you, just because I'm a great... No, wait, hang on.
Yes!
No, come on. Because I'm a great broadcaster, I'm going to make people listen to this 1-minute commercial, and then we're going to come back, and you are on the rack. You are going to tell us what you know, because you said this was a fact-based hour. Back in a minute with Bill O'Reilly, and the name of the whistleblower, who he is, from Mr. Bill O'Reilly, the author of the new book, The United States of Trump, which is on sale now. Read it, especially now. Read it.
This is a big moment. I certainly would definitely listen to this commercial closely to make sure that we can get to the next.
Am I saying through code who the guy is?
Ooh, I don't know.
All right. Somewhere out there, Bob, there are...
Bob. His name is Bob.
Wait, what? The name of the whistleblower. Bill O'Reilly.
Stu. Stu did it.
Can you tell us what you do know?
All right. Now I'm going to depart from the fact-based first 20 minutes that we had.
Okay.
If you look at the whistleblower complaint, all right, and we'll go back to facts now. He did not hear the conversation. All right, so it's hearsay, because he did not have access to President Trump talking with the Ukraine president. 2, he interpreted the conversation.
I'll listen to the deep state trying to get this conversation ended. Bill, you're breaking up. We know it is either Dick Cheney, Halliburton, or the deep state. Can you state that again?
Are you hearing me clearly now?
I am now, but as soon as you started in on the facts.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. This is the deep state trying to cut me out here on the Beck Show. Look, if you read the language of the whistleblower complaint, it is all about hearsay, anonymous sources, and what this guy thinks happened, not what really happened. All right? So that when he is exposed, which he will be, you are going to see that this is Christine Blasey Ford.
Yes.
That's who it is, a person with an axe to grind against another person.
Yeah.
So you're not saying it's her specifically.
Okay,
you're saying it's just a person with her profile.
I think it's another one with her profile, another person that has been against this president from the start. The whistleblower has already been discredited Multiple times they said he said this at least 8 times. No, he didn't. He made a promise. No, he didn't.
This is the IG. This is what the IG kind of said, right?
Yes.
Supposedly that this is someone with a political axe to grind.
Correct. And you'll also find, Bill. I think you'll also
we'll find that out, and I know it'll be proven to be true. But let's get back to
wait. I want to put one more
people.
Hang on. I want one more thing before we go back into fact base. You're also going to find the State Department's fingers all over this. All over this. Go ahead.
All right. Well, that'll give you and all the other people who are doing talk radio and TV a lot of stuff to talk about. But what should happen
or
now
research,
to protect the American people, see, the American people are the ones that are really getting hurt here. Yeah, Trump is getting hurt. But because this country is supposed to be operating in a fair way, an honest way, it's the American people who are getting hurt. So what is wrong with the Republican Party? The Republican Party should join together, and Mitt Romney better shut the F up, okay?
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Look,
I don't think I've ever heard you say something like that.
Mitt Romney is about as irresponsible. I like Mitt Romney. I've known him for a long time. Okay, but what he said this week was as irresponsible as anything any Democrat said. So the Republican Party has to, and Mitch McConnell is going to have to lead it, God help us, is going to have to go as one entity and say, this is a fraud. This is tearing the fabric of America apart. We're not going to stand for it. And every Republican has got to stand up in the House and Senate and sign on to that. Because if you don't have an honest country anymore, because this is banana public stuff.
It is.
That's what it is.
All right. You know, if the president would have said, look, I need some dirt on Joe Biden, and I don't care where you get it, that would be one thing. But that's not what he said. What he's saying is, we believe there is deep corruption from the United States in the Ukraine. And we have pieces of evidence, and we believe, the newly elected president, we believe you don't know some of those names, and they are still surrounding you. Be very careful, but you must further these investigations. And the president of the Ukraine saying, I know what you're talking about, I know who you're talking about, and we are furthering those investigations. I don't understand how that is anything but in the national interest of our country. I don't understand how that is wrong for anyone to say. It's exactly what I would say. Bill O'Reilly, welcome back.
Not going to be reported that way.
Yo, I know, but that's
there's nothing wrong with that,
right? But that's the spin of the
way
media.
You just laid it out. There's nothing. Okay, so a headline on the CBS website, news website, right now: over 300 former national security professionals call out Trump for unconscionable abuse of power. That's the headline. Okay, so CBS News is putting out that 300 people, both Republican and Democrats, who worked in the industry, national security industry, have condemned Trump. Based on what? There's no evidence to condemn anyone about anything. Now, the only legitimate point here, and this goes back again to my book, The United States of Trump, and this is the president's Achilles heel, is that he harbors grudges against people he thinks have harmed him and his family. So there is an element, and I know this to be true, that he wants to expose Joe Biden's Ukrainian corruption, quote unquote.
Right. So let me ask you this.
The president wants to do that.
Let me ask you this to further that. But it is not just, in fact, I think that is secondary. The election is secondary. He is so angry at this Russian corruption stuff that came through the Ukraine and Russia by the Democrats. Joe Biden was involved. Barack Obama was involved. He is so angry at that. He wants to find the evidence to prove that is true. And I think he would want that to be proven true to discredit them more than even winning the next election. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. It's very personal.
Yes. And it goes to
Trump.
it goes to him always saying, I'm a legitimate president. They didn't throw it my way. He's so obsessed.
It goes way back to
Right. He's
it
obsessed
goes way
with
back
that.
He is, and that is an Achilles heel for him.
I agree.
And that's why you got to read the United States of Trump to understand where the man is coming from. But that's not an impeachable offense.
Correct.
All right? Every president has deficits, personality deficits, every one. That you don't impeach on that. And a headline like 300 people say what Donald Trump did was unconscionable is unconscionable itself. CBS putting that up there is unconscionable. They don't know who these people are.
They also are former.
I'll go.
Are they not former intelligence?
Yeah, and I'll go back to Blasey Ford again. I'll go back to that analogy. We now know that Blasey Ford didn't like Kavanaugh's abortion profile. We now know that she went to the most radical left lawyer she could find to represent her in a political way. These are facts.
And by the way,
we had to endure as a nation.
The lawyer that this whistleblower went to, we know, worked for Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer. I mean, in their offices.
That's true. One of the lawyers that the whistleblower is using. But as I said in the first half hour, you are going to find out soon that the man is a Trump hater. You will find that out. But even when we do find it out, Beck, do you expect that to be reported honestly in this country?
No.
Do you respect the people getting that information?
No.
So that's why I'm saying the only solution to this problem now is for the Republican Party to band together as one and fight back.
This is what I said. What I said.
American people a clear choice.
Right. Yesterday, when I was reading the whistleblower report, it all kind of dropped into place for me, and I'm going to make this case next week in a special, and I urge you to watch it. I'll send you a copy of it, Bill, so you can watch it while you're being chauffeured around town or whatever it is you do.
Yeah, we do have a TV in the back seat.
Okay, so, but I'll send it to you because I want you to see it. But it all kind of dropped into place for me yesterday during the whistleblower thing, and I'm looking at this, and Donald Trump, and this is going to be very hard because what you said, he is obsessed with this, and that's an Achilles heel only because that's why we remove people from investigations when they're personally involved, because you make mistakes. And he's going to make mistakes.
You get emotional.
Yes, and he'll make mistakes. So
but that's not an impeachable offense.
Correct.
Look, if Biden had been clean, if Biden had done nothing wrong, then Trump would be really in a bad place. Okay? But Biden did do something wrong. By his own admission, he went to a foreign country as the vice president, threatened to withhold $1 billion unless the foreign country fired a prosecutor who was looking into his son's company.
Now, hang on. The story on the left is that it wasn't for that. It was for corruption. And if it were indeed for corruption, I would be for that. The government of the United States should not be doing business with corrupt governments where we had just lost $1.8 billion went to offshore accounts of the guy who ran Burisma and the biggest bank. So I would be for that, but that's not what it is. And in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, John Solomon will be on. He has newly released documents yesterday. He got a hold of documents that show that is absolutely not what was going on, and absolutely this was about Joe Biden and his son. He has the documentation to prove it, and he's coming up in 15 minutes.
All right. Well, there was never any doubt in my mind because Biden himself said it. And if you listen to the soundbite, it's clear Biden swaggered on over there with his big VP status and said, we don't like this guy, and I don't even know who the guy is, but the guy's investigating my son's company, and you got to fire him. And if you don't, we're going to withhold $1 billion. And that's exactly what Trump was initially accused of, which now turns out to be false. Mm-hmm. But don't you see my big point, Beck, that if the Republican Party don't launch a counterattack, that this country,
we're trouble. We're in trouble.
Trump.
That's why I said, and this is what I was.
Kellyanne, is this what it's going to be? And he ought to tell Giuliani just to shut up. I mean, Giuliani hurts him, doesn't help him. Get Giuliani out of there. The Republicans have got to tell the American people the Democratic Party, in conjunction with the corrupt media, is harming the nation. Vote for us, and we will stop it.
I will tell you.
That's the choice is going to have to be made.
I will tell you, Bill, we are researching this now to find the evidence to be able to make at least a good case. It's not going to be an open and shut case because the people aren't talking in Ukraine yet, but they will. More and more are coming to the table because they see which way the wind is blowing. And this is a battle of titans, and it's a clash of titans, and it's I think a battle to the death in Ukraine, probably literally. But this is why I'm trying to make this case next week. I'm going to button it up. But yesterday I said Donald Trump needs to stop playing defense and needs to go on the offense, but they have to have a simple elevator pitch that people can understand about what this really is, and then back it up. And that's what I'm trying to provide next week.
But I don't think it can just be Trump.
No, it has to be the entire. No, it doesn't even have to be the GOP. It has to be everyone who believes in innocent until proven guilty. Because I can't prove that the DNC is doing this, and the DNC can't prove that Donald Trump is doing this. But this is an issue of national security that goes way beyond the election of 2020, way beyond Donald Trump, and certainly well beyond Joe Biden. Stop looking at this as just a political thing.
Yet?
No, I have not.
Did you tape it?
No, I have not.
Just stay in the boundary of provable fact. Yeah, because if you go out of that, then you can be attacked, and then if something happens that we don't know about.
Look, you can't. I can't present a case. I will make sure that I say this is proven, this is proven, this is proven. This is what I believe they are driving towards. This is what I believe happened, and I can prove.
Yeah, at the end you can do that.
Yeah.
once you present the facts.
Right. I will.
Just reread the United States of Trump. It's all fact based, and just follow that outline, Beck. That's
all I have to do.
Just
all right.
Follow the way.
Okay.
I've guided you through how this is done.
All right.
You present facts.
All right. Okay.
But I want everybody listening right now, and I know you have to go and get painkillers or whatever you're on here. I want everyone to go to who are listening, all the millions of people who are listening to us right now, to understand that this is a crossroads in American history. That you have a corrupt media, and there's no question it's corrupt, all right, that have allied itself with a political party, the Democrats, in order to destroy a president of the United States. This has never happened before.
I believe.
Ever.
I believe,
and if
Bill.
they are successful.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I think you're just going to make the point.
Successful.
Yes.
Our republic is gone.
I was just going to say, Bill, I
believe no one will ever be safe again.
I believe if this just fades away or they are successful in doing this, I do believe this is the point where we lose our security, our liberty, our justice. All of it is gone on this particular case. I think you're right. And
everybody in the Republican Party has to understand that. And I'm telling you, if they don't help, they're going to lose because Trump can't do it by himself.
Right.
He can't. And it doesn't matter with you or Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh. It doesn't matter, okay? The party has to say to the American people, enough. Enough.
All right. Bill O'Reilly.
We believe in due process. We believe in a brain.
All
okay.
right.